following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, and Newy Scruggs.
All right, it's Friday, so that means it's time for the Players Lounge, and the boys are back together. Week number 2, Danny McCray. Here he is, baby. Here he is.
Back-to-back weeks?
Listen, hold on.
Man, I can't believe it.
I know, man.
Church, you nervous? You sweating over there?
I don't know what it is about the studio, but as soon as I get up in here, man, I don't know. The beads start, swelling up on top of my head. I feel some drips coming down. I'm like, man, we in the studio.
Right down,
Somebody give this man a towel.
Man, I don't know what it is, man. Lights, camera, action, I guess. I don't know.
Wow.
Home studio, it ain't like this. Home studio, it ain't like this.
Oh, because we know you got a really, really nice home.
Church,
Oh, here we go.
Church out here sweating like some of these veterans are here.
You ain't lying.
Dan Quinn right about
On
that.
notice. They on notice. They sweating like me.
Hold on, what you said the odds were on my man Big Mike? He got that sweat on him too, huh?
So
Big Mike.
Yeah. We'll dive into that. Okay, we will dive into Mike McCarthy and the hot seat there. This is the Players Lounge. Danny McCray back for a second week in a row here. Former Dallas Cowboys safety number 40. There's Barry Church, number 42.
Indeedy.
Former Dallas Cowboys safety. I'm Newy Scruggs, merely a reporter for the Cowboys.
Emmy Award winner. Don't let him.
For a minute or two. For a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading Matthew McConaughey's book, Green Lights. Actually, I wasn't reading it. He read it. So the audiobook is really good. Okay. And the Cowboys used to train in Austin. That's when I first covered the team, Jimmy's last year. And there was a black club on 6th Street called Catfish Station. And a couple years later, maybe a year or two later, I remember the white guy was a waiter at the Catfish Station.
Okay.
Come to find out it was Matthew McConaughey. And I did not know it.
He said this in the audiobook.
It was in the audiobook. He's like, yeah, I got a job at Catfish Station. My best friend worked on 6th Street too, about 5 or 6 clubs down, called Wiley's. And I said, was that McConaughey, the white guy waiter? He's like, yep.
So it sounds like he was the only
Yes.
white. Okay.
Yeah, it was black. It was all black club. Yeah, it was all black club. He was the only white guy who grew up in. So
he's invited to the cookout?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah. But check out his audiobook.
Right.
Check out his audiobook. But those were fun days back. I remember one time running Emmett and Michael Irvin at the Catfish Station out there during training camp.
That'd be a dangerous spot to have camp. I mean, you got 6th Street right there. I mean, in Oxnard, we way off in the cut somewhere.
When the podcast is over.
Look at behind the scenes.
Podcast is over. There was one bar called the Copper Tank on 6th Street. And I tell people all the time, this was when the media member and me lived off the Cowboy. You with the team? A little bit. I cover him. Do you know him? Yes, I do. I know E. Yeah.
How Drake say, of course.
Knew he walked around here with his microphone in his pocket. He was trying to get in the club like, hey.
No, then you didn't have to. You just walked in with them. You walked in with them. They were there too.
He got this hanging off his little day, man.
With the pocket.
You see the star right here.
Yes.
I see you with your badge too. Come back, my man. Church got a badge.
No, we had the media pass back then. Yes, this is who I am. Yes. I leached off. I was 23 years old, living off the Cowboys.
As you should.
Smart man.
Yes, sir.
Smart man.
Living right off the Cowboys. Because after a while, they couldn't get to them, so you was next up.
Give me all the info you got. Look, hey, I'm not.
I was single.
Look at
I was a single man.
What?
I was a single man. I was a bachelor. I did bachelor things.
Yeah, if the walls could talk.
Yes.
Fly on the wall.
So Las Vegas came out with odds this week that have Mike McCarthy as the first head coach to lose his job. 7-1 odds. I mean, they got bets on everything.
They got
bets on everything now. And so, they got Mike McCarthy as the number one guy.
Oh, man, I don't see it. I mean, I know. Do you see his seat being not hot right now?
I don't think when Jerry's reaching almost 80 years old, I don't think we can anything is possible.
Yeah. He wants to win now. We know Jerry wants it right now.
Right. So anything is possible. I don't think, I did not foresee this defense making as many wholesale changes as they did.
Yeah.
We knew there'd be changes. I didn't think there'd be this many, but this is Jerry saying, okay, fine. I mean, Jerry finally said, Jason, I love you, but I can't do this anymore. So I don't know if he's disappointed again, I don't know what he'll do. I will never forget the two looks on this man's face when they lost at New England. And they had Tom Brady and Belichick against the ropes, a game they should have won, lost on special teams, the anger and disappointment, and then the tears he had after Buffalo beat them on Thanksgiving Day and Cole Beasley got carried off the field. I mean, it made the man cry. So I'm sitting here looking at this. This is, as he's getting older, you take this stuff more and more personally.
Yeah, and if you look at it, he's in the win now mode. I mean, they feel like they got their leader, Dak Prescott. He's under contract. He's ready to roll. Their offense, in my opinion, it could be a top 5 offense, especially with that receiving core. You got a healthy Tyron Smith, La'el Collins coming back, so they can run the ball a little bit. And I mean, I think he thinks, look, this offense is geared to go. It's geared to go. We got to make some changes on defense. Like you said, we got a wholesale change, but he's ready to win now. And he's like, look, McCarthy, I done let you bring your boy Nolan in. Now you bringing in Dan Quinn. Something's got to work. If this don't work, I'll let you bring in all your guys. I'll let you get the tools that Dan Quinn needs to get this defense going. If we don't get this thing rolling in the right direction, somebody got to go. Yeah. I'm not taking it, so somebody got to go.
I'm going to tell you why this man's seat is hot, all right? And it's not because of the record that they had last season. It's because of the performance and the lack of buy-in from the players. All right? They have not come out and looked that way. And I don't know how many years. I mean, at least when JG was here, we was losing. We was going 8-8, but we were bought in and we were losing the last game to go to play.
The team. Yeah, he had the team.
You never had that question. And then last season, it was so obvious where everybody saw it and everybody called it out. You had players coming in talking about they're not running to the ball. The guys talking about watch the film and the film was horrible. Like you had all these bad things going on, inside the team and in the locker room where Jerry's like, nah, if we see that again, then we're going to have that same issue.
Do you think, McCray, that a lot of that, turmoil and all that, inside the locker room, all that stuff, do you think that had a lot to do with their leaders not being in there? Dak Prescott being out, a lot of young guys trying to take that leadership role to the next level, but they weren't able to do that. Do you think that had a lot to do with, the turmoil inside the locker room and just the at odds it seemed like the coaches and the players were at?
Yeah, I think it had a lot to do with the leaders, but I also think it had a lot to do with the staff. I don't think the staff came in and figured out a way to get these guys to buy into what they were selling. And that's from the wait staff. We got Wojcik. He left, so they had a new wait staff. They had a new guy come in. They had to buy in for that. The DB coaches, we obviously know that nobody was buying into that. True. And then we had no idea what's going on offense. We talk about it on the show all the time. What is the identity of the offense? So you got players on the offense who have no idea what the identity is and what they should expect for the upcoming game. And the defense was atrocious. So, I mean, on all levels, it was bad. So if you have another season of that, those odds are right.
In the only movie, Prince made 2 movies, but the only movie that was a hit in Purple Rain, the club owner, Billy, says to Prince, because he called him the kid at the time, kid, I got 3 acts. I ain't got room for 4. Better kick butt tomorrow night else. So homeboy picks up that guitar, goes to the stage, and busts out Purple Rain.
There it is.
Big Mike better have some Purple Rain coming on up out here.
Big Mike better have a crowd waving. You better have them all like that. Well, you better have them in tears, and then follow it up with "Baby, I'm a Star." I mean, he's going to have to perform like that because Jerry Jones does not have time to waste. He does not have years to spend. He's giving you the money and the resource. I mean, you guys have been at different teams. You in Chicago, you were up there, Jacksonville. What else could you ask for?
You can't.
When you talk about facilities, finances for the team, I mean, everything is here. You've got a tremendous practice facility. You've got a tremendous stadium. There's no excuses.
You got it all right there. And as a player, I mean, what else do you want from the Cowboys? I mean, off the field, you make so much money I mean, it's ridiculous with that star on your helmet. Like you said, you got all the practice facilities, all the best equipment. You got the top end at everything you can have. But for some reason, we haven't been able to translate that into W's. So I think we got to get this, like you said, McCray, he has to put his imprint on this team. He has to get this philosophy going in the direction that he wants it to go, or he's going to go down with the ship. Like you said, I mean, we got to win now. Jerry's in the win now mode. And if Quinn can't do that, I mean, we've seen it done. He going to have to kick rocks.
Well, you know, I'm Quinn top 10 this season. All right, I'm
yeah,
just telling you, our defense top 10 this season. So I'm not even worried about that. I'm worried
Did you go
about
to OTA?
Huh?
Did you go to the OTA practice?
You know, I didn't. No, I did not go to OTA.
Okay.
First of all, that don't matter. All right, you got to get out there and put your helmet on somebody. That's when we'll know if these guys really came to play. You know, like I know, OTA practices, non-padded practices. That's what they are. They are non. Football is a contact sport, so you never really know. I run out there and tag somebody off right now. That don't mean that I'm finna get out there in week 1 and go try to strike them with the tackle. It's not the same. So they can look as good as they want to. We can have the 2011 Tyron Smith and Dak coming out here saying he got the best, the most in shape tackles all they want to, but until you get out there in between those lines and put that helmet on somebody, you have no idea what the hell's going on.
But do you think these OTAs, this offseason, this mini camp that they're going to have, do you think it'll prove dividends? I mean, because last year we didn't have it. We didn't have OTAs. We didn't have none of that. And, you know, the proof was in the pudding as what we saw for the regular season. So do you think they can improve with these OTAs going on right now?
I think absolutely. I think them going back to a 4-3, things that they are familiar with, and then being able to put Dan Quinn's little touch on it, I think that'll help a lot. I think the biggest part of last year was they switched the entire scheme around.
They did.
These guys had not done this in their football careers, and then we asked them to do it with no OTAs, a really, really light training camp, and then go into week 1 against some pretty good offenses and try to produce. And it didn't work out. So getting back to a 4-3, getting back to the basics, getting out here and Dan Quinn, like, being able to put his imprint so they understand what he wants. He wants them to hustle. He's going to get out there on the front line and show this is what I want from you, and if you can't do it, then you won't be on this team. So getting that and getting that attitude out on this defense, I think is going to help. Top 10, Newy.
This is why the Players Lounge is it's just a different podcast than the other ones, because if you listen to the break and just their thoughts on the OTAs, there's a whole lot of positives, and you just came right out there and you just pour cold water right on everything they said.
How many times have you seen somebody say, "Bro, that OTA was bad"? Like they went on analyst came out or whatever, and at the end of OTA it was like we had a horrible OTAs.
I just was gonna actually mention one guy from the OTA.
Who we talking about here, Newy?
Demante Kazee.
Okay, that's your boy. That's your boy.
I wouldn't necessarily say he's my boy as much as I had stressed that I thought Dan Quinn needed to be able to bring in his own coaches and some players who understood the scheme. And coming off an Achilles, he looked like, okay, this is a guy who's going to be able to play this fall and help this team. Because we were wondering, is he going to make the club?
Yeah.
Is he going to make the club? I know it's an OTA, but he was out there and he was very active. And I just said to myself, okay, this is a player who might be able to help them. And Demante Kazee, when he was healthy, was a playmaker for the Atlanta Falcons. They need some playmakers here. So that, to me, what I took away from the OTA was, hey, look, for a guy coming off an Achilles, I think, so far, better than I thought, this could be good.
And that's a hell of a sign that he's even participating in this early part of OTAs where it's kind of just, you got individual drills, you got a couple team drills here and there. But for him to even be out there with them, that's a huge sign. Because I would have thought, he would have been on the sidelines with Britt doing those band works and just getting acclimated. I'm saying that, man. I'm all over the place right now to getting back onto the field. But like you said, he's out there. He's doing his drills and he looks good. So for me, that's a hell of a sign for this defense because the one thing I preached since the offseason was they needed a guy back there, and you do as well, Newy, that they needed a guy back there that can control this defense, that can be the quarterback back there in the secondary. As a linebacker crew in that front seven, you got veterans down there, Jalen Smith, LVE, that can control that, get those D linemen and everybody moved in the right direction. But you didn't have that at the safety. So they brought in Kazee. He knows the system, and for him being out there this early in OTAs, that's a heck of a sign because he knows it. And if he's healthy enough to get back even 3/4 of what he was, a ball hawking safety back there, that'll prove dividends for this defense, and hopefully he'll be able to improve out there.
So it sounds like you preaching for a top 10 to me. All of a sudden, the guy out there flying around.
that.
You got veteran linebackers. You got a first round pick.
I say all that.
I just pointed
you
to a
last
positive
season said Diggs he's going to prove and he's going to be a top paid cornerback and all that stuff, getting on the new contract. So what I'm saying is, you got Tank Lawrence, you got Randy Gregory who came on at the end of the season. I mean,
Neville
if you put together everything that we said, Neville Gallimore, the new showstopper. So if you put together all this stuff that we have been talking about collectively on the Players Lounge, this sounds like a pretty good defense coming up this season.
Whoa.
I'm just saying, I'm putting it all together.
I merely brought up a positive that I saw from being in the OTA practice, and I wanted to point that out while you were poo-pooing everything about.
No, see, there you go. See, Newy like to do that too. I was not poo-pooing OTAs. I said I will not watch an OTA and then say, you know what, we're going to have a hell of a team based off what I seen in OTAs. Okay. That's what I'm saying.
And I'm not even saying. I just really wanted to. I saw a player that I was not expecting to see and out there a lot. So, and I said, okay, this to me is a good sign because we've spoken before. Hey, look, the guy's contract's not guaranteed. What's going to happen?
Will he make the team? Yeah.
Dave Hellman, DallasCowboys.com. Read his work. He spoke with him and he said, hey, I wasn't expecting you out there. He says, I know. A lot of people weren't. And he also spoke about how he was thankful to find a team and just, that whole NFL life of, okay, this is what happens, you free agent year, you get hurt, and where folks at, where the offers. So he's here, and it sounds as though he wants to prove something on a 1-year contract. Old Hall of Fame baseball manager Sparky Anderson said if he had 23 guys or 25-man roster of 1-year dudes on a contract, he said he win the World Series every year because everybody be out there busting their trying to make sure that they was out there to get a new deal. So if KZ is here, he understands his defense and he's got something to prove. Looking at his track record in the past, on the upside, the flip side of this could be good. So many times we've seen these signings that just have not worked out around here. Dontari Poe last year, Gerald McCoy. Everson Griffin. You just look at these guys, man, it's one year. And I'm just merely saying, as I look at the OTA, I can say, all right, so far, one practice in, this guy's doing more than I thought he would be doing, and maybe this could be a signing that helps this football team. Lord knows Dan Quinn needs somebody who can understand his defense.
He definitely needs it. And it sounds like he got kind of a chip on his shoulder. I mean, and you like that. I like that about him because it sounds like when he came in there, Hellman was talking to him. He's like, yeah, I know I got doubters. I know y'all don't think I'm going to go out there and go out there and be able to prove something. A lot of cats, including myself, thinks, hey, he might not even make the team. But for him to go out there and he's not doing a lot of, rah, I'm back, I'm here. He just, hey, I'm being humble. I'm thankful for the opportunity the Cowboys gave me, and now I'm out here and I got to prove my worth. And you love that. You love leaders like that. And I hope he brings that to the whole defense. That's just that leading, that camaraderie, getting them all boys together, getting them fired up. And hopefully he can do that, but remain healthy as well, because we're going to need a free safety back there.
Hold on, Newy. I just going to, reverse and go back to something that you said. It sounded like you were, listen, Gerald McCoy and Dontari Poe, those are two very, very different things that happened to those guys, okay, as far as didn't work out. Gerald McCoy got hurt. When we talked about Dontari Poe, it was bad. My man wasn't out there, one of those guys who wasn't buying in, wasn't hustling, and you could see it noticeably on film. I've been out for a while, so where's Gerald at this time?
He's still on the market, right?
So I know we had discussed him possibly coming back and all this stuff. You never know. I'm just saying. You never know.
Well, there were some stories earlier in the offseason where McCoy might want to come back, but they shut it down. They shut it down.
Right. You knew where I was on that.
Yeah.
I knew where you was on that.
Listen, I missed some things.
My brother.
I missed some things. So I'm just catch me up. Thank you, bro.
So Steven had done a radio interview and somebody asked him about it, and Steven just being the open-minded personnel guy. Oh, that could be, and they had been in communication, but once we saw what happened in the draft and where they went, no. I go back to what Bill Parcells used to talk about. He used to talk about progress stoppers. Bill was big on that. He's like, we don't need progress stoppers. If you've got some of these younger guys, the best way they're going to get better is letting them play. Gerald McCoy is an injured player. Hurt players at that age tend to stay hurt. He came here, they had a contract. I mean, think about it. They had a clause in the contract. Hey, man, you hurt that quad, we get go ahead and get you on out of here. Yeah, I'll sign it. What happened? You hurt the quad and got him on out of it. It didn't cost him anything. So why are we bringing him back?
I'm just Tyron Smith, huh?
Tyron Smith and Gerald McCoy.
No, I was just checking. Because you were talking about players that, that age.
No, we got a lot of.
This is what he said. Players at that age. He said, he said players that age, when they get hurt, they usually stay hurt. And I'm just.
That was nice.
I like what you did right there.
You'd be a good lawyer.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Right there. I can't lock the loaded, baby.
Your Honor, Gerald McCoy is an older player than Tyron Smith. And Your Honor, Tyron Smith is an all-decade player. Gerald McCoy's not. Your Honor, Tampa Bay rolled out Gerald McCoy, and despite his years of service to the organization, gladly gave his number to Ndamukong Suh, and they moved forward without him. Meanwhile, Gerald went to Carolina.
You still getting life. I don't care what you're talking about.
Still went to Carolina, brought a new staff and said, we don't need you.
Still getting life.
Cowboys out there saying, the Cowboys, that was a bad bet.
Man, shout out to Tyron, man. I hope he has a great season. I hope he's a 2011 guy.
He was at the OTA as well. They had him doing some 7-on-7 drill work. He and Collins. He and Collins both went out there, did some 7-on-7. Now, it was against air.
Oh, I'm going to say, because if you give it to church last week, he said undrafted free agent was going to be.
Bradley and I will
come. See, there's context to that story.
And Dak heard you because he said he wasn't doing anything.
Thank you. Because you never, like I told y'all in the story last time, he jumped the snap. You know what I mean? It's just different. Anything can happen between them lines. I'm just glad they're taking precaution with 4 and keeping him on the low.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they did some work with Brett on the side, and then they ended up leaving for a while. Then they came back and they put them out there on the 7-on-7 drill when nobody was touching them, and so that was fine. You're saying Dak, making sure nobody was around touching Dak either. Dak was making the progress you wanted to see. Okay. So I think if you were a football fan out there and you saw Dak the way we saw Dak, okay, all right, it's coming along. It's coming along.
It's still not. Dak. It ain't. Is he springing off there, or can you notice?
He rolled out. Okay. He rolled out on his own. Threw a bomb to we got video right here. So video of Dak right there. So he ended up rolling out through a deep pass to CeeDee Lamb. It got picked off by Burton, but that to me was a positive that you could say, all right, hey, look, he can go out here and he can move.
Okay.
And Dak said, hey, I'm a full go, but is he ready to come out here and play a football game? I wouldn't say that, but to me, what are you looking at right now here in May? You want to see progress, and what I saw from him, I said, okay, I can see some progress.
That's true. I mean, he still got 6 months.
He's
got some change. He got some change out there.
And they keep talking about he's on pace. He's doing the things he needs to do. So for me, that was another positive. Like when I saw Demante Kazee, like, okay, yes, we're seeing some progress. Okay. Versus you coming out there saying, that's what you didn't want to see.
We didn't want that.
Roll.
Uh-oh.
Well, I mean, listen, if he's not ready, I mean, we still got Church's
Double G,
guys.
you already know it.
Double G Gilbert, you know what I'm saying? We can roll him out there week 1 against Tom Brady.
I ain't gonna say
Devin White.
I ain't gonna say he's the answer. But I'm telling you.
Are we hoping that our first round pick, Micah, can be as good as Devin White? Or are you seeing that type of talent from this guy?
I'm going to give you a comparison that someone gave about Micah Parsons in the DallasCowboys.com draft magazine that people forgotten about. Let's take a break, come back, and talk about number 11 and also someone who made a switch of their number as well. Let's dive into that right here on the Players Lounge with Barry Church, Danny McCray. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
Adjust your cleats, adjust your pads, even adjust your helmet. But seriously, don't adjust your underwear because once it's seen, it cannot be unseen. Tommy John's fabric keeps you cool and dry on the field or in the stands, and now they even have loungewear. Yeah, loungewear. Shop underwear at TommyJohn.com/Cowboys for 15% off your first order. That's TommyJohn.com/Cowboys.
Hey there, Cowboys fans. With Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery, cleaning your clothes has never been more convenient. Simply sign up at your local store, set out your dirty clothes, and one of our Tide Cleaners professionals will come directly to your home for a totally contactless experience. Your clean garments will be returned promptly the next scheduled delivery day, so skip the errand and enjoy life, not laundry. Visit TideCleaners.com or your local store to sign up for Tide Cleaners at-home pickup and delivery today.
Grab some OtterBox gear and get ready for hanging with the boys. From rugged venture coolers to tough as nails elevation tumblers, we've got got what you need to keep your game day drinks frosty and your football feast ice cold. And with cases, screen protectors, and power accessories, you can defend your phone and stay connected to every play. Gear up at OtterBox.com and amp up the fun of every Cowboys game. That's OtterBox.com.
Is your family a Cowboys family? Have you taken holiday photos at the Star? Was your wedding theme blue and silver? Have you convinced your kids them is spelled with a D? If so, every game day feels like a vacation to you, so treat it like one. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com. Proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Hey, don't miss your chance to see the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium this season. A limited number of single-game, standing room only tickets are on sale. Now get yours today at DallasCowboys.com/tickets.
Got to get them tickets, baby.
Yes, sir. 17-game season this year. 17-game season, man.
I know earlier I was like, I said one more game ain't that bad. But now I got to thinking about it. I mean, weeks 15, 16, you like, man, practice seemed hard. So that's a long one. That's a long season.
That's a lot of games.
That's a lot of
One
games.
bye week.
And if you think about our bye week is early, I think it's like week 6 or 7. You got 10, 11 straight weeks of ball. Man, that's hey.
It is. Look, this is
long.
This is why you're going to really have to develop a good practice team. You had some guys that you're looking at, working and getting better. And we talked before about 3 of the last 4 games for the Dallas Cowboys on the schedule are NFC East games. So, at the end, all right, let's just picking it up right here. December 12th at Washington, December 19th at the Giants, December 26th, it's a home game against Washington on NBC Sunday Night Football. Then Sunday, January 2nd, it's a home game against Kyler Murray in Arizona, and then the season ends January 9 at Philadelphia. So this is a little chunk right here. These final 5 games, and and then you even go back to New Orleans, start December 2nd. That's a road game. So you're in it with 1, 2, 3, 4 road games and 2 at home. So this is a tough stretch for the Cowboys after that Thanksgiving Vegas game. So they've
That's why you got to take advantage early.
Just hearing January 9th is a regular season game. That's like the college football national championship on that Monday. So just hearing that time,
and it's still regular season.
Yeah, it's something to get used to.
You know when Super Bowl is, right?
The
day before Valentine's Day, February 13th in Los Angeles.
Oh man, it's gonna be a lot of upset husbands or a lot of upset wives.
That's a long year. You think about from when camp starts, which is when mid-August.
Yeah.
Man, all the way until if you make a long
Valentine's
run.
Day.
Hold on, what decision y'all making in that? If you are a fan or one of those guys who goes to the Super Bowl annually, they go every year, and now this year is Valentine's Day, and you got to tell the wife, I'm going to the Super Bowl, or I'm going on a trip with you, or something to do something with you for Valentine's Day. Which one are you choosing?
You can make it a weekend. It depends
now you got about 2 Super Bowl tickets. You're running you by $7,000-$8,000.
No, actually, you really don't. You really don't.
Okay.
First off, it's in Los Angeles.
Okay.
So you
can make that a trip.
You can do one of Barry's spots, like down there in Newport Beach, Orange County.
Here we go.
Maybe I got you set up here, the little spot, the church villa. They'll be all set up right there. Church can get to the game, do his thing.
There we go.
And because it's February 13th, Sunday, Valentine's Day is Monday. So, boom, there you go.
You straight.
So, yeah.
Okay.
That's
not happening on mine. I'll tell you what,
not on duty.
My wife
on duty.
Valentine's Day with her, and that's the weekend. That's if Valentine's Day on
It ain't a
Monday,
day.
that's Saturday, Sunday, and then Monday you better have something else.
sounds like a you problem.
This is true.
That's because Newy take them dogs for a walk. Newy take them dogs for a walk. He be all right.
I'll be all right.
You see Newy outside. He got 6 dogs.
I'm good, man.
I'll be out there at the Super Bowl.
You know where you gonna see me Monday? Monday you'll see me at LAX getting on my flight to come home. I'm going to the game.
Let them know.
Put your foot down. That's what I'm talking about. Only one pair of pants in your house.
The game is on NBC. and I'll be at the game. Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right.
See you on that red eye. That's
Yeah,
what see you.
No, you won't.
Sweating, talking about the flight got canceled. He didn't rent a car.
No, you won't. No, sir.
Where the hell is church at with that sweat spray?
Sweat spray.
No, sir.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it.
Wouldn't happen to me. All right, so let's get into Micah Parsons, the Cowboys rookie number 11. So I went back and was looking at the Star magazine, and it was Doug Farrar. Follow him on Twitter, covers the National Football League, and he spoke about how good he thought Micah Parsons could be. And he said, think of everything you love about Jamal Adams, and now envision that in a linebacker. That's Micah Parsons.
Okay, because he can get away with that because Jamal Adams is definitely, I think, one of the premier in the box, linebacker or safety. I think he's one of the premier just run defenders in the box, playmaker type guys. I can see that out of Parsons because I don't think they're going to ask Parsons to go out there and lock tight ends up like they asked Jamal Adams to, and he gets worked. He's a liability in coverage. So I don't think they're going to ask that of Parsons. I think he might have to guard maybe some running backs out of the backfield. I know Washington got a couple good ones, but overall, I think he can be that type of defender where Jamal Adams in the box, he's elite. Maybe outside of the box in space, he's not, but in the box, he's elite. And I think that's what they're going to ask Micah Parsons to do. And I think if he's able to come with it, I think he can be an elite box defender.
Man, that's an interesting take because now I got to ask you, if you are starting your defense, who are you picking then? Devin White, or are you picking Jamal Adams?
I mean Jamal Adams.
I'm going Devin White.
I mean, I'm sorry. I meant Devin White. I meant Devin White. I'm sorry.
And here's what I'll come back to what you just said. They're blue chip players.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Give me a blue chip player. This defense does not have a blue chip player, in my opinion, right now.
Not right now.
And so if Micah Parsons can get up here, we're talking about him in a conversation of a Devin White and a Jamal Adams. If you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, you should be ecstatic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm looking for. Do you have a blue chip player? And it seems from looking at him on his film and then just talking to different folks around here about him, they're excited about what the football player can be. So we'll see what's the drop-off of not playing a year, but they think this is a blue-chip football player, and I think we can all agree we thought they needed to get some help, some blue-chip help on defense. I thought it may be the corner. That's what Church and I are waiting on. Didn't happen, but Micah Parsons, if you're telling me this guy could be a linebacker version of Jamal Adams, sign me up.
I mean, look what they asked Devin White to do down there in Tampa. I mean, they asked him to, be sideline to sideline. Basically, he's rolling everywhere. He got so much speed, he can roll everywhere. And they asked him to rush the passer as well, because I believe he had, I don't know if it was this year or last year, he had like 8 sacks or 8.5 sacks. So they asked him to be that box defender, and then they asked Levante David to be that cover guy, to be, to cover the Travis Kelce's, to cover the guys out of the backfield. So I think for sure Parsons can do that. He can run sideline to sideline if he just uses his instincts and he just focuses on what he got to be doing. I think he can be an elite box defender. You got to ask him to watch running backs here and there, but I think he can rush the passer. I mean, if you look at his tape out of Penn State, he had about 8 sacks that year. Last year he played at Penn State, so he can come off the edge, he can rush the passer, he can be that sideline to sideline, just go get him tackler guy. So I think he can make an impact in that box. I just want to see what he can do in space. I mean, I know he has the athleticism, he has the speed, the explosiveness, but can he translate that to the field in space? Because that's where the NFL is going now. It's a space game. NFL, the offenses are going to put you out in 11 personnel. They're going to empty out the backfield. They're going to make you cover guys in space. Can he do that? If he can, he can be elite.
I think that's the biggest part. I think when you talk about linebackers like Devin White and what they're able to do is in space, right? You see them covering running plays sideline to sideline, but when you see somebody catch a bubble screen or the running back catch a swing pass, the guy is out there, he's making those tackles in space.
Yeah.
He's rushing up the middle, he's rushing off the edge, he's able to do all that, so you're not able to say this guy can only do one thing. If he's lined up here, then he has to be covering somebody. If he's lined up here, he has to be rushing. So having that versatility at the linebacker position is big. So I want to see Micah be able. He's a first-round draft pick, so I want to see him be able to do that.
Just in what you guys spoke about here in terms of linebacker play and being in coverage, you think about some of the players that they're going to face. You on the schedule, you've got just from the tight end standpoint.
Looking at the division,
Rob Gronkowski, right out the bat over there at Tampa Bay. Hunter Henry's left Los Angeles, but he's what, New England now, I believe.
Yeah, he's in New England. Him and Jonnu Smith.
Okay, so they're on the schedule. They're on
Travis
the schedule.
Kelce.
So you've got Philadelphia's got Dallas Goedert. The Giants have Evan Ingram. Said then you got Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith over there in New England. Denver's got what's the kid? Noah Fant. Atlanta. Kyle Pitts
and
Hayden Hurst. You got Las Vegas.
Darren Waller out there.
All right, look at this. Okay, let me just go through this.
You ain't even list the running backs yet.
Okay,
because you talk about Washington and then you got Saquon. You got Sanders.
Just starting November 7th. Okay, November 7th. Just from a tight end standpoint, you've got Noah Fant of Denver. Then it's Atlanta, so you got Pitts and Hayden Hurst. Then you got the next game is Travis Kelce. Then after that, you got Darren Waller of Vegas.
I mean, it's stacked up right now.
Clyde was hilarious.
You got Washington for 2 games. You got the big kid Jordan. Logan Thomas.
He did damage to us last year.
So
if your linebackers, like I said, they have to be able to do all things. You got to be able to cover, tackle, and rush. If you can't do that, you will get exposed.
Well, let me ask y'all a question.
Defense.
If we're asking Parsons to be the Devin White of the linebacking core, who's going to be Levante David? Like because that's the guy who's covering these tight ends. So LVE, Jalen Smith.
That's going to be one of them safeties. Yeah, it's going to be the safety man.
Keanu Neal, possibly who had a lot of run with at training camp. I mean not training camp, but at the OTAs as well. This is the great challenge for Dan Quinn. Yeah. How does he figure out how to get all this done? I'll say this for Jalen Smith and for Leighton Vander Esch. They know you're going to have to prove it this year.
Yeah. Vander
Esch's contract is up. They declined the 5th-year deal, so he's playing for a new deal. Jalen Smith, you have to understand and know they drafted a guy at your spot. Mm-hmm. So if anything, one or two things will happen. Either these guys are going to be really good because they're playing for their playoff lives, or they'll be bad enough that the Cowboys can just say, you know what, thank you very much.
We got a young guy behind them, right? What's the young linebacker name?
I know you're talking about 57. Luke, is it Luke Gifford?
Luke Gifford. How is he? How are the young guys behind LVE and Jalen, not excluding Micah Parsons?
I think it's too early to tell. Yeah. We'll see. But I still go back to
we got Jabril Cox.
Mm-hmm. Neil is going to get some play, and we'll see. It's going to be active. I mean, the beauty is, from what I could tell, is hey, look, there's going to be some competition, and let's see what happens in these preseason games. And I'm looking forward to it. And plus, we talk about all these games right here. You know, there's going to be people going to get hurt. We know this. It's the National Football League, so there's going to be some opportunities here. Just be ready for your opportunity when it comes your way.
And we thought last year there was turmoil in the locker room. You know, players talking about coaches can't talk or coaches can't coach and all this other stuff. Imagine if one of these vet dudes lose their job, get benched. It's going to be what type of team or what type of players are they going to be? Because that's a lot of turmoil to take. When you get your job taken as a starter, you're in a vet in this league. You was the man last year, and then somebody else came in. It's going to be some turmoil in there. Now, what type of players do we have? Do we have the type that's he took my spot. Let me help this guy learn. Let me help this guy be the best player he can be, so he can help our team in the end. Or is he just are we going to get a bunch of powders and they're just like, man, you know what? I can't. This dude's starting over me. I can't believe that. What is this?
I tell you this. The fact that the defense was so bad last year and it put everybody on notice that this may possibly happen to them, mm-hmm. I think it's going to sting, but I don't think it'll be that big of a surprise for some of these guys, right? Okay. I don't think as many guys on the defense that can say, I was the man last year.
No sacred cows. No sacred cows.
Yeah, and really feel that way. I think, and then we keep talking about like covering the tight ends and the running backs. One thing we know about Dan Quinn's defense is it's going to be a lot of get to your spot, get your eyes on the quarterback, break and make those tackles. So you're going to have guys who know the zone coverage, the drops, the weaknesses, and they have to be able to come and tackle in space. Those are the type of guys you're going to have starting out there on your defense. So if it's Jalen, if it's LVE, if it's Jabril Cox, they're going to find the right people to get out there. And then when they go man on man, I think they're going to bring those safeties in and find out who can cover those tight ends and who has the bigger advantage getting out there on that defense.
Talking about the safeties, we saw Jaron Kearse out there running with some ones.
Okay, that's a bigger safety, right? He's about 6'4". He's a big dude.
He was out there. So they had a lot of folks going in and out. Dan Quinn was putting people. I mean, it was good. You saw folks going in and out. Lots of packages. Boom, boom, boom. Your turn here. I know it's just one OTA, but when you look at what you saw last year and you look at this, there's a difference.
Listen, see, this is why I got to get Newy at. So listen, because I got to keep breaking down. When I say OTA and you don't really know nothing, I'm not talking about them being able to know the defense and learn the scheme. I'm talking about who's going to hit, who's going to tackle. The stuff that we talking about when you got to plant, break, and drive is no longer tagging off. Like, you got to get out there and you got to be able to punish those guys and hit them and turn their pass backwards. So I think the OTA is going to be great for them being able to learn Dan Quinn's system and get in those right spots.
And that's where I'm at right
there.
Yes.
To that point, absolutely. OTAs are great for that.
Versus last year.
But Church is seeing some stuff to where where guys look great out there when you don't have to tackle.
Everybody look good
and
in shorts.
then all of a sudden you start forgetting stuff because you're worried about who coming up here to shake you or who going to juke you. And all of a sudden you look like you never did any OTAs because you didn't have that pressure of getting out there and have to make those tackles.
Well, it was so bad last year. This is where I'm celebrating. Okay? Look, the defense was just so bad last year. I'm sitting around celebrating. Oh, yeah. You calling top 10, I've just got some low expectations. It could just be better than last year.
I'm saying top 10, and I'm still hard on them. So I
what we gonna have to earn see, it. With McCray, you know this for a fact. What we're gonna have to see is when these safeties are in the buzz hook situation. When I say buzz hook, you buzz into the numbers, and your responsibility is the curl, or you getting underneath the curl or the 7 route and the flat. Now, when you got a guy running the 7 route behind you, but you see Ezekiel Elliott coming out on little flat route, just a little flat route by the running back, and you got to make your choice. Do you let him catch it with all that space, knowing how elusive and how big he is, and you got to tackle him one-on-one, or do you go hug up on him to make sure he ain't got that room to take the catch, and you give up the big bomb behind you? It's a lot of different factors when you get pads on, because without pads, I'm gonna just run up there and tag him off. I'm gonna go ahead, he ain't going nowhere. But when you see that big boy with them pads, you're like, don't want to get up on him quick.
Meet him in the hole one time and let it hurt, and then you be like, you know what? I gotta start getting a head start.
You know what I mean?
And to that, I mean, we could get on Ezekiel Elliott. That's why I think that they have to run him early because that stuff hurts.
Yeah.
when Ezekiel Elliott is able to punish guys in the first quarter, so when you get to the third and fourth quarter, nobody want to tackle this dude. That's why you start seeing those 4, 5, 6 yard runs because they've been getting punished since the beginning of the game. Now, when you get 5 carries in the first half, ain't nobody worried about that.
Agreed.
So that's offense and defense goes the same. So we'll see, man. You get some pads on.
Agreed. All right, let's get another break in here. We haven't talked about the other big number switch. There were 2 switches that I noticed on the field. But one got a little bit more publicity than the other at the OTA. Let's dive into that right here on the Players Lounge. Danny McCray, Barry Church, Newy Scruggs. This is DallasCowboys.com radio.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Verilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
At Smoothie King, we are blending goodness to fuel your greatness. Every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses only whole fruits and organic veggies. You'll never find sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of our blends. Smoothie King is proud to be the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys. Place your order in the app or online for pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar, and a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere, and a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The zero you deserve is finally here.
It's game day. You know what that means. First, kebab prep. Steak, pepper, onion, steak, pepper, onion. Next, a counterclockwise lap around the room. Now the lucky grease-stained jersey goes on. And lastly, the dance. You know the one. This is a game day ritual no matter where you are. Whether you're traveling to the game or watching from your favorite vacation spot, book a place to stay on Hotels.com and keep the tradition alive and well. Hotels.com. proud partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Hey, get the ultimate fan experience for the ultimate Dallas Cowboys fan. Join Dallas Cowboys United, presented by Globe Life, starting at just $20. Join now and get your exclusive fan pack and member benefits. Visit DallasCowboys.com/United for details. Danny McCray, Barry Church, Newy Scruggs, Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com. We are in the SWBC Mortgage Studios here at The Star. Jalen Smith is paying $500,000 to switch from number 54.
How much was that?
How much you say that?
Can you say that one more time, a little slower? How much
for the
was that?
people in the back? One more time.
$500,000. Clear-eyed view,
Clear-eyed view, baby.
Gentlemen. Let me read this from Jalen Smith. The number 9 is more than a number to me. It is a part of me, always has been. Since I was 9 years old, this number has helped me learn how to handle hardship with grace and understanding. The true meaning and symbolism behind the number 9 awakened my spirit and has guided me throughout my whole life. Worn this number through Pee-wee, middle school, high school, and college. It's been represented in all facets of my life, even with the 5 + 4 = 9. And I'm excited to be wearing it now with the Cowboys. I'm thankful, humbled, and motivated more than ever, locked in and ready for the 2021 season. As always, I'm ready for the opportunity, and I'll do whatever it takes for us to dominate this year on defense. You've got my word. Blessings. #9 on me. #clear-eyed view.
He had to throw that clear-eyed view on it. Watch the tape, baby.
Watch the tape.
What you think, D Matt? What you thinking,
Listen,
man? What you thinking?
Listen. This is the type of stuff that happens, and players put this type of pressure on themselves, and then if it doesn't work out, you see them, go a little crazy. They have no idea what to do. They don't understand the media going after them and all that stuff. So I'm hopeful that my man has a great season. Sometimes you got to go back to the basics and figure out something to lean on, and I think that's what he did. He actually realized that last season wasn't the season that he had hoped to have, so he's just trying to find any way to get him motivated to play like he used to play. So if it works for him, great. But I wouldn't have done it. I definitely wouldn't have paid $500,000 for it. But I also don't have as much money as Jalen. So I can't speak on that man's finances, but I don't think it would have been smart for me. Yeah. I hope he has a great season, but as of right now, and based off the film that we saw last year, he should have stayed in that 54 and made a new name for himself.
Yeah, to me, I'm right there with you, man. I'm right there with you. 500. First of all, I'm not in the same tax bracket as Jalen Smith. So he get 500 bands. If my last name isn't Gates, Musk, Jones, something like that, you ain't getting
Buffett.
You ain't getting 500 bands from me. The NFL already takes everything. If you tie your shoelaces wrong, they trying to find you for some money. Your socks is too high, they trying to find you for some money. So I'll be damned if I'm ever giving any type of money back to the NFL or back to the Cowboys after they gave me my bread. And then you got to think about you giving them $500,000 to take. We talked about this the other day. You giving them $500,000 to take this to take all the 54s away. Then they're gonna turn around and make more money off of that number 9 jersey. So you just stacking it up on stacking it up. So to me, I wouldn't have done it. Not only because of the financial stuff, but because he had his best statistical season. I think his best season as a pro in that number 54. Yes, this last year, it was a down year for him, but he can come back with that. And I'm a very superstitious dude, so I switch up that number. It's like, oh man, I don't know, I don't know about that. I tie my shoelaces the same, make sure everything's right. So you switching up that number, you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, like you said, McCray. You're putting a lot of pressure because if things start going wrong, that first game he's out there, if he misses a couple of tackles or gets done in the open field, the media is going to be all over him. Oh, he switched to that number 9. You ain't representing number 9, right? And all this other stuff. And, I see the other side of it, though, because they acted like this number 9. Romo was a he was a good quarterback. But, he didn't do things. Danny White went further in the playoffs than Romo did. You got everybody and their mom wearing 11 out here. So, for me, I wouldn't have did it financial reasons, and I'm superstitious like that. So, I don't know. Maybe he can change his new thing and make number 9, a defensive number, but so, we'll see.
What does he do if this year doesn't go well? Does he go back?
He can't go back now. Nah, he can't go back now.
Or does his new team, because he will be on the new team if he does not play well, does he go snatch the number 9 at the new team? Or is it a start over brand new? Like, these are the things that you have to think about. Yep. If you have ultimate confidence in yourself, that's fine. Bet on yourself, Todd France. But if you don't know and you've been struggling a while and you're really trying to get back on the right track, man, just put your 54 on, go out there, and you know what I'm saying, be quiet and ball out. You got to do the clear out view thing because you got your brand, you have to make your money. But I mean, just focus on the game. Focus on covering the tight end. Focus on planning and breaking. Try your hardest to do that. I understand you got to do what you got to do to make yourself feel a little better. If it works for them, congratulations. But if not, it's gonna be a hell of an offseason.
You two dudes are why I started that hashtag Stop Jalen Hate this week. Stop Jalen Hate. Number one.
Okay.
First thing I'd have done, and this is the question I would like to ask Jalen privately. Did you call your CPA? Can this be a tax break? Can you somehow write this off as a business expense for you with the 54? Because somehow, some way, and I'm sure, Jalen's one of these guys, he's all in the business. Maybe he has a business, the clear eye view,
LLC type.
Because I know, right there, so that's my first thing. So maybe we
can only speak of what we know.
Right. So but I'm just thinking in my head, that's the first thing I would, hey, how can I figure out a way to write this thing down? Number 2, he wasn't good last year, but we also understand this. Was anybody really put in a proper position last year? I mean, to me, one of the most mind-boggling things I saw about that defense last year was when they switched the 2 linebackers from the 2 positions that they had success at and had made Pro Bowls at. So why are we switching them? They put these guys, to me, you put the 2 linebackers in places that they didn't need to be, and it hurt them. So I would like to say, let's see. I mean, okay, and this goes back into HR.
You know I'm about to get you.
Somebody in human resources said everybody deserves a chance to fail. Like, you're so fine, you get a chance to fail. And I feel like they're going to give Jalen a chance. Hey, man, here's your chance. Your new defense, we're going to put you right over here. Let's see what you do.
Hold on.
He knows he's up against it.
Hold on, man. Listen, that would all be valid, right, if there were 11 people on the defense who believed that they had bad seasons. All right, there's one person on that defense who watched that film and said, "You know what? I wasn't too damn bad."
Watch the tape.
So I don't. That discounts exactly. That discounts what you said at the end. Yeah, that discounts what you said at the end. I don't know what you talking about, but
I'm not laughing.
Talking about this. Like everybody played bad. Well, that man don't think he played bad. What you talking about?
So CB just hit me with this. CB, Chris being my producer. What if Jabril Cox comes in, takes the number 54 because it's open, takes the number 54, goes out there and he's balling out. He takes over. He's balling out in the 54. Does that put even more pressure on Jalen?
The pressure's gone.
It's out of there. Huh?
Yeah, he out of there. Listen, because this is what we talked about. So Dan Quinn, he's on the line as well. The last dude came in here and got fired after a season. All right, so Dan Quinn not gonna come in here and assume that if he come and have a lackluster year that he's going to be guaranteed to be here the season after. All right, so with his job on the line as well, because he might be tied to McCarthy, who has the highest odds of being fired this season, the first coach out of there. They all know that their job's on the line and they have to perform great. So I don't think they're going to lean on Jalen if he's not performing well. If you have a guy behind him who's a ball-hawking guy who's proven to be able to go get those interceptions and cause those fumbles. If he's balling, he's going to play.
But this is also what you want. You want competition.
This is true.
You want the competition. He comes from Seattle, where Pete Carroll's whole book is called "Compete Every Day." So that's fine. I don't have any issues with these guys going out here and also understanding. Look, there's no more sacred cows here. Too many years people have walked around knowing they had a job, and if they messed up, you heard excuses being made. I'm all for it. I'm all for it all day long. Another topic we need to get to here on the Players Lounge.
Good luck to Jalen, too, by the way.
Yeah, good luck, big dog.
Yeah, good luck to you.
Wow. That was a little heartfelt right there. Boy.
No, listen.
Brothers like you support the guy. As a former player, I want all these dudes to get up there,
play well, make their money, and don't have to deal with no hate.
Sure sounds like.
No
sure
hate.
Sounds like.
But
sure sounds like.
But when you go out there, when you go out here and you
Brother.
make these type of decisions, you have to be ready for some criticism, and then that should put that chip on your shoulder to make you go out there and prove that the move that you made was correct. I want him to ball out.
Okay.
But I watched the tape.
Okay.
So I want him to play better than he played last year.
Speaking of moves,
Okay.
Ben McAdoo. Offensive consultant, former New York Giants head coach, the last man to take the Giants to the playoffs.
And he's coming down to
Consult.
Dallas.
He's a consultant. He was with your Jags last year.
He was with the Jags.
How'd that end?
Yeah, too good. I think they went 1 and
They won the first game.
They won the first game
and lost the last.
What are you consulting about? What are you consulting on?
It reminds me a lot of Kiffin. This gives me a lot of Kiffin vibes. You remember Kiffin came in here as the defensive consultant.
My man Kiffin couldn't even remember the play that he called by the time that we got into it. Church remembers we used to be in that meeting room and used to be like, this dude just lost all track of what the hell he was talking about.
He would go from talking to the DM and then he'd be like, yeah, you got to drop in the thirds. Wait, what?
What? No.
What you talking about? You mean the same thing?
Yeah, but Kim was older. He was a little older. But I want to know what specifically McAdoo was consulting on.
Yeah, you got Kellen Moore right there.
Yeah.
What you know?
He was a tight ends coach for Big Mike in Green Bay. Then he ended up moving to coach quarterbacks. And so he coached the quarterbacks with Aaron Rodgers in 2012, 2013. That helped him get the Giants offensive coordinator job. And then he ended up becoming the head coach when they ran off Tom Coughlin. So consultant is a whole lot of things. I mean, we saw Jason brought his brother over to be offensive quality assistant. And
That's not consultant quality assistant is different. Let me tell you something. The three positions that you just named, we don't need no consultants on. All right.
Yeah,
the tight end, our starting tight end went down. The second string tight end came down and balled.
Schultz did his thing last year. Schultz did his thing.
Okay. Can I actually? I'll defend it from this one standpoint.
Okay.
In the Nick Saban course of his, nobody gathers more consultants than Nick Saban. It's all he's doing is gather. Your career goes to smithereens. You go on with Nick, and he's your consultant or whatever until you get to the next thing. Brett Bielema became a consultant for Alabama, and then next thing you know, he was got a position coach with New England. Now he's a head coach for Illinois, I believe, in the Big Ten. And Butch Jones, who got fired at Tennessee, ended up as a consultant, and now he's a head coach at Arkansas State. Charlie Strong with there. So maybe this is Mike's thing. And all these coaches, we take care of each other.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on
what
over
it
here.
is.
You just be a consultant, and I'll tell you to look at whatever. But this is boys taking care of boys.
That's all it is.
Yeah, you didn't learn your lesson with Nolan. And then usually you talk about Nick Saban.
Well,
Nick Saban is also winning a whole bunch of national championships. So what happens when you go to Nick Saban, people assume that you've learned something. All right.
Now,
so you come consult over here after going 7-9 and having one of the most atrocious efforts that we've seen from a team, and talk about this is who you gonna consult for. Yeah, you're not getting as much.
Let me defend what you just said from this standpoint. You brought up Mike Nolan. You made him your defensive coordinator. McAdoo's not going to be a coordinator. He's a consultant, so he's behind the scenes. Your problem in hiring Mike Nolan, you gave this man real responsibility, and then you're offensive guy. Clearly you turned your back and was over here with Kellen and didn't pay attention to everything that was going on behind you, and that was a problem. So I just asked. He's just a consultant. So is it a thumbs up or thumbs down from you?
Listen, I'm just saying, let me finish with that. Because Big Mike is known to give everybody free reign, all right? So we don't know what the hell McAdoo going to be back there doing. Because we had the special team coach out there calling all type of fakes.
Big Mike.
Play sheet 4 and 5. Big Mike, throw my point unit out there.
Big Mike, get this first. My man Nolan wasn't giving when they was having their coaches meeting, that man Nolan wasn't putting up no game plan. He was like, I'm going to take care of this. Don't worry about it. I'll show you on Sunday. So we don't know what McAdoo got going on. But listen, if he can help, thumbs up to him. Thumbs up. We'll take all the help we can get, I guess.
Question, if the ship starts going down, man, is Big Mike going to take over the reins of calling plays? Because last year, it was just going downhill. Big Mike was like, you got this, Keller. You got this.
He going to do this, McAdoo.
That was my analyst guy.
They're going to give me one more year. Hey,
McAdoo,
going to blame this on McAdoo.
McAdoo, you made a couple bad calls.
Yeah.
You the head coach?
Hey, he put the sheet up.
Okay, all right. All right. There you guys beating up on McAdoo here.
I don't know. Listen, I don't think we need anything on offense. If you're gonna bring in a consultant, consult on defense, consult in the secondary, consult at the linebacker position, not the D-line position because Dan Quinn is the guy. But offense,
we got Dan Quinn.
Yeah,
we don't need a
top 10,
consult on
baby.
defense.
Top 10, baby. Top 10, baby.
We got George Edwards as our defensive consultant. Remember that?
Yes,
this is true.
But the last time I saw George Edwards out there at that rookie camp, he was coaching the linebackers.
Yes, he was.
He was coaching.
So that's it. McAdoo gonna be coaching.
You know, hey Kelly, watch out real quick.
Hey, he's gonna be out there with Dak. Hey, Dak, come over and talk to me.
This is what you need to do right here. Kelly, go over this. Hey, look, this is what
This is what Aaron Rodgers was doing.
If you want to learn from somebody who coached the best, you come to me. Kelly, he ain't really coached nobody.
Next thing you know,
they fighting like
Columbo. You remember how Gary and like
Dak, I coached Super Bowl MVPs and Aaron Rodgers and Eli Manning come holler at me. But if you want to listen to Keelan, keep listening to Keelan. Go ahead.
You start seeing on the gram Dak and McAdoo at dinner.
Remember how Garrett and Dak do that? Next thing you know, McAdoo and Dak after practice. Let's get it right here. 2 points right here, 1 point right here. Come on, let's get
the Dak and Mac show.
Keller looking out the window in the top.
We gotta get off Keller, man. Keller gonna be all right, man. Keller
gonna be good, man. I'm just saying, what McAdoo going? What he doing? Because you just said George Edwards, he's coaching now.
And it seems to be like McAdoo's a strong personality type of guy. I mean,
his last name is
like
McAdoo. I mean, good.
He gonna take over the room, you know. That consultant ain't gonna last for long, man.
How'd you feel about Julio Jones?
Julio, listen, my man been injured. They talking about giving up first round picks for the cat, and I'm like, bro, he been on my fantasy team for 2 years.
Why?
I know, ain't that something?
Somebody gonna give him a first rounder too,
and you will be a
somebody gonna give it
for what?
For Julio, I'm telling you,
the man got bad hamstring. What'd you say? Players that age that are injured.
He's pulling a Tyron Smith.
My man got bad.
This is 2011 Julio.
He got bad hamstrings.
2011 Tyron Smith, 2011 Julio. He coming back,
and then he not even doing. He probably ain't even doing OTA, so he not even gonna be in real shape.
That's true.
A first rounder.
Somebody gonna give it to him.
Yeah, they gonna have buyer's remorse.
Jalen Ramsey was out there pushing for him to come to the Rams.
But I heard somebody saying you at least got to give up like some D-Hop stuff. I said, what? They didn't give up much for my man D-Hop, huh?
No, they didn't.
What was it, second round in David Johnson?
So if you can find a way to swindle that, then yeah, go ahead. But giving up first rounders, nah.
That might have been just homeboy screwing Houston. What was
O'Brien?
O'Brien. He might have been like, I'm on my way out of here. Let me.
I just believe anybody that spends a first round pick on Julio Jones is foolish because you're trying to buy a vision of a guy who used to be great. He's a good player when healthy, but the problem is he's just not that healthy. And to pay that kind of money and give up a first round pick, and what we know next year in terms of the salary cap, they're not expecting it to it's still going to be kind of tight because of COVID. So I wouldn't be doing that.
Yeah.
If you felt like you were one player away, but I don't think the teams I'm hearing are not one player away. I have heard that New England may be in there, but we know New England's not giving up a one. That's just not what they do. That's just not what they're going to do.
And it seems like with New England, they got the two tight end set. They're trying to go back to that old what is that? Read and run and read.
When they had Gronk and Hernandez.
Gronk and Hernandez in there. So
they got a receiver too, though. They spent a lot of money on.
And keep in mind, okay, we know how this media thing works. The Falcons will sit up here and tell somebody, yeah, we got it. Somebody wants the one. So that's what you say to put it out there.
That's true.
I mean, that benefits them to go tell some reporter, we got a one. Somebody's going to offer us a one. Well, if that was the case, why don't you deal?
Yeah, why don't you take that?
Okay,
that's true.
Right.
That's
if
true.
you offer me a one, sure, sold. Sold.
They got to wait till June 1st, though.
It doesn't matter. You can make an agreement all day long.
What is that? That's like 3 days, isn't it?
Okay, but you can. I mean, the whole golf deal wasn't official until whatever, but they still made the deal
A-Rod,
with Stafford Golf.
Is A-Rod staying in Green Bay?
Yes.
Will he be a Packer?
Yes.
I do think so as well. I think
Aaron Rodgers will not be traded this year.
Gutekunst might be fired, but I don't think A-Rod going anywhere.
But Aaron Rodgers is not going to be traded this year.
What you think? You think he's staying?
I think he's staying.
Yeah.
Look, at the end of the day, they were, for the last 2 years since they decided that Mike McCarthy was the wrong guy, they've gone 26-6, and they have been to the NFC Championship game twice. They are trying to use Aaron Rodgers to make a Super Bowl this year.
League MVP.
And league MVP. After this season, when I was listening to Andrew Brandt, who used to be the money man for the Green Bay Packers, and I thought he had a great take on Sirius XM radio, and he's got his own podcast. He said, oh, by the way, I've been here, boys. Been here. Saw it with Favre and Rodgers. He said, but they're going to keep him this year, and then after this year, they'll be done. And they're going to give it to Jordan Love. Can't give it to Jordan Love right now because you haven't seen him do anything. He didn't have an opportunity for OTAs, mini camps, preseason games. So while Aaron is away right now, Jordan Love, you're going to get your opportunity to show what you can do. And one of the things
no receivers up there.
All the receivers.
The receivers,
all 5 receivers.
They chilling too.
They're chilling too.
Do what you do, Jordan Love. Throw to these.
Go ahead.
and Nicky is St. Brown.
St. Brown. Get you some Alan Lazard in there. Get you some.
It's tough out here, man.
So they're going to use this opportunity for Jordan Love to show them what they can do. And one of the things that Andrew Brandt spoke about is while Brett Favre was staying away, Aaron Rodgers showed them that he could command the offense and understood what he was doing. So that was his time. So let's see if Jordan Love is smart enough to take advantage of his opportunities. But I don't think they're going to trade him. You're talking about the cost of trading him, and they're trying to win. You are in a win-now window.
And I don't think Jordan Love's that good. I mean, they've had to see him do reps out there. I mean, he's had to practice, at least on the scout team, at least in, something like that, some regard. And I don't think they got a lot of faith in him. That's why they keep hyping up A-Rod. Because he's talking crazy about him. He's talking crazy about the Packers, and they just, that's our guy. They
deserve all the mess they talk, because we was all sitting here looking like, did they draft the quarterback in the first round?
They started it. They definitely started it.
Up in the draft.
And he made all those receivers better than what we thought they would be.
Look who he was playing with. Alan Lazard. I mean, outside of Devontae Adams. You got a 5th-round tight end, Tanya. You got
Aaron Rodgers, league MVP.
MVP.
So, I mean, yeah, he can talk all that mess.
Yeah, he can. He can.
Yeah, but I see Aaron playing.
Yeah.
And I think this will be the last year there. So, by the way, it's Friday night.
Mavs Clippers.
Mavs Clippers.
3-0, baby.
You think it's going 3-0?
3-0. They can't stop Luka. Come on.
You think it's going 3-0?
Oh, yeah.
What you think,
They gonna get him up out of there.
Playoff P.
They gonna get him up.
Playoff.
Championship P.
He put stress on. He put pressure on himself. Like how Jalen switched the number. I'm Playoff P. Ain't nobody give you that nickname. I'm Playoff P. And he went out there and stunk it up.
No. What he said to the Oklahoma, I guess y'all hadn't seen Playoff P.
You heard what Charles Barkley said. They don't call me Championship Chucks.
The most damning thing, and you can see it on YouTube, but the most damning thing is when they asked Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony, because they all went to the podium when they were Oklahoma City, and they asked about Playoff P, like, what? And Carmelo's like, who? And Russ laughed. He's like, oh, that's what he calls himself, Playoff P? and Carmelo's smirking, and he's like, I'm going to let you answer that. He's a Playoff P. He laughing, and Russ is laughing. Like, your own guys, your own dudes are laughing at you, calling yourself Playoff P. The Clippers have now lost 5 straight playoff games going into last year. And so if you're down 3-0, it's truly a wrap. But if I'm Ty Lue, I write on the clipboard what Pat Riley wrote in Game 3 of the 2006 NBA Finals when the Mavericks were up 2-0 and they were up 13 points with 6 minutes to go. He wrote on the clipboard, just held it up, said season. Just wrote up on the clipboard, just looked like he do, season. Ty Lue, you need to do that.
He need to read that, and he better make sure Pat Beverly did not guard Luka Doncic tonight. That's what he need to do.
How is Pat Beverly's doing in the league? Pat Beverly ain't been in the league since 2006.
He supposed to be known for defense. I'm just telling you.
They fired Doc Rivers over defense. Steve Ballmer fired Doc because he didn't like what he was doing on defense with the big man, and decided that you got to go. And
look at Philly.
You see that? Yes, but you see that GIF that they have on Twitter when Pat Bev guards Luka, Luka's reaction. He said, "I know that who I think it is. I know that. I know that ain't who I think it is."
So I'm telling you, man.
So the season. I mean, this is the whole. Tonight is the season. And if I'm Rick Carlisle, I write the same thing on a blackboard. Season, guys. We can make our season tonight by going out here and sticking it to these guys. Go ahead. These dudes want to be finished. Finish them. But tonight, go up 3-0. Finish these guys.
But you said they fired Doc Rivers because of defense. You see, watching that Dallas game, they are switching They are letting this man switch and get Pat Beverly on him every single time.
Don't try. You're trying to make sense of it, but this is what happens when the owners get involved.
Mike
Steve Ballmer is out here saying,
"I'm killing my dog."
Mike Nolan, my bad. I just throw the names out there.
Steve Ballmer sat up here and placed the blame. And
Doc, yeah.
I mean, and I go back to also when they lost. You know, go in the press conference, you got Morris and you got Kawhi talking about how, you know, this was supposed to be their year, and then you got Playoff P saying, nah, we didn't think it was going to be this. It was transition year. So you got guys on different pages.
Xavier Woods. Okay, my bad.
Right. My man's on fire right now.
Hey, I told you, I came today, baby.
Who's next? You got Stephen A. Smith saying Kawhi is out. Kawhi is going to Miami. So that means they're just going to be left with Playoff P and that bad contract. And then they gave him all that money because they gave up all those picks to Oklahoma City to go get him. And it's Clipperland gonna be messed up because Kawhi. Why would Kawhi come back? I mean, personally, the Mavericks and a whole bunch of folks, when Kawhi opts out, need to be on the phone. What's it gonna take?
Especially the Mavs. Bring him down here. Bring him on down here.
They're gonna punish him tonight though, but I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Real quick before we get, I know, CB probably like, what the heck's going on with these dudes? Real quick, who won? Kwame Brown or everybody else? Who you got?
Let me tell you something. I don't know about everybody else, but I watched the video that Stephen A. put.
Yes,
when he had the highlight or the low light of Kwame, that was
the Shaq in the Fool version.
Yeah, it was pretty bad, bro. But I haven't seen all Kwame stuff. But Stephen A. went on TV and did the low light.
I'm surprised Stephen A. even responded. Like I'm surprised he responded. But
get personal.
I mean, at the end of the day, what they said about him as a player was true.
Yeah.
This guy was a bad number one pick. He was not a good player.
Yeah.
And he went personal with folks, but what they were saying about him as a player, those weren't cheap shots. Those were facts.
But what I don't like about what he keeps saying is, yeah, you can't tear another black man down like that. I say their job is to critique and do and analyze what's going on the basketball court. That don't have nothing to do with them trying to take care of you as a black man. They supposed to just talk good about everybody, even though they playing like garbage. Stop bringing that. Everything ain't that.
Your career was a failure.
Yeah, everything ain't that, bro.
Okay, at the end of the day, Kwame Brown's career as an NBA basketball player was a bust. That is not a cheap shot. That is just merely pure fact. Stephen A. Smith put the videos out there, and you just saw it. You played for 7 different teams, and you just were not a good basketball player. I'm not sure what Mike Wilbon, Stephen A. Smith, Mark Spears, or anybody else over at ESPN is supposed to say about you as a player. I'm sorry, you weren't good. You weren't even JaVale McGee. At least JaVale McGee was a part of a couple championship teams and tried to help some folks out, and but you weren't that. And I can definitely say this because I've been around a lot of those guys. They've done a lot to help black men.
Oh, yeah.
And black athletes and black coaches. They've done that. Those aren't the people to say that they haven't. You can disagree at times with their take on things, but to sit around here and act like those guys haven't helped people, you can't say that at all. You really cannot say that at all, or picked up the banner and just raised awareness for things that are going on. I hate to see that they've gotten to this type of level where we just sitting around here blasting each other in this form and fashion, but he wasn't a good player. And Michael Jordan drafted him. And these are the kinds of things. And I'm a Mike guy. That's my guy. It's my dog team. But I can't defend these kinds of decisions that Michael's made through the year.
As an owner,
you drafted Kwame Brown. You drafted Adam Morrison. I mean, you drafted some dudes that are just bad. And just, what are you doing? You drafted.
Looks like he might have found one with.
No, Mitch Kupchak found one. They drafted Malik Monk and didn't take Spider, who's killing it up there in Utah. I mean, you talk about misses, man. He missed on Brandon Roy. I mean, Michael's teams have missed bad. And that's part of it. He chose Kwame Brown and messed up, but that is that. Hey, look, all right, we 12 minutes over.
Went over. My bad,
12
CB.
minutes over. CB, Chris Beam, our producer, we appreciate you as always. All right, fun stuff. Danny McCray, number 40. Barry Church, number 42. Newy Scruggs, merely a reporter. Thank you for checking out the Players Lounge, brought to you by Hotels.com, right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
Would you say top 10?
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.